once seemingly born to conceal mysteries, and Sichuan is such a place, both vividly exposed and deeply hidden, its secrets unfathomable. On this side stands a 71-meter-tall seated Buddha statue, gazing down upon the convergence of three fierce rivers, as if guarding a secret yet to be revealed. On one side was a fiery hot pot, so intensely flavored it could sear even the memory of your throat. Amidst these seemingly unrelated images, quiet individuals tirelessly wrap each piece of candy, hang each slab of bacon, and display pristine bean sprouts in the hazy early market, shrouded in a veil of dust. Sichuan is not only famous for its unique architecture or distinctive hot pot but also as a mesmerizing paradox. There, the more the spiciness burns the heart, the more people yearn for it. The deeper the pain twists, the more peace one finds in their soul. The Heavenly Kingdom. Located in the southwest of China, this province resembles a giant bowl skillfully placed by nature amidst majestic rocky mountains. Outside stand towering mountain ranges like fortress walls, while inside lies a desolate, silent, and deeply mysterious lowland. Celestial realm. Every inch of this land seems blessed with a wondrous favor from nature. Sichuan boasts a unique topography. To the east lies a vast basin, where sprawling fields and gentle rolling hills are woven together by winding valleys and meandering rivers. But as we moved westward, the landscape suddenly transformed. The plateau rose majestically, snow-capped mountains towered into the sky, the road faded into the cold, hazy light, flanked by sheer cliffs like deep gashes carved by time. Here, there is no clear boundary between the plains and the mountains, between the living land and the sacred realm. Everything seems to blend into one another, transforming and intertwining, as if this land refuses to divide anything at all. The climate of Sichuan is as erratic as its terrain. Some areas are hot and humid year-round, while others are cold and arid. At times, it pours rain as if the heavens have opened, and at others, the land endures freezing months with frost blanketing the forests in white. Therefore, the ecosystem here is incredibly diverse. Lush bamboo forests, towering waterfalls, perpetual snow-capped peaks, and a dense network of rivers all coexist in a paradoxical yet harmonious space. Sichuan is home to more than 1,400 rivers, large and small. Among them, the Jinsha River, a turbulent upper stretch of the Yangtze, is notorious for its fierce floods, like the wrath of the heavens. That river not only irrigates the fields but also holds countless memories. The people of Sichuan believe the water here has a spirit, sometimes gentle and serene, other times raging and fierce. They live with the water as if coexisting with a capricious, unpredictable deity. Neither resisting nor submitting, but patiently adapting bit by bit. This way of life is shaped by towering, rugged mountains and the intricate network of rivers and streams that surround them. Sichuan is a land easily divided but hard to conquer. The ancients regarded it as a blessed place. Looking upon it, one may not see perfect peace, yet neither does it appear overly harsh. This land always offers a way forward. Perhaps it is precisely this duality of confrontation and shelter that has forged the unique character of this land, both harsh and bountiful, challenging yet deeply nurturing. Many still believe that ancient Sichuan was where ancestors communed with heaven and earth, that every flowing river, falling raindrop, or whispering wind carried messages from the sacred realm. Every earthquake is a wake-up call. That's why faith here doesn't come from books. It lives in the way people gaze at the sky, listen to the flowing water, and slow down to embrace the simplest things. Sichuan is not easily grasped, nor a place to be hurried through. It demands that we pause, immerse ourselves in its essence, and if possible, learn to sync with its rhythm. It's not just about exploration, but also about seeing ourselves reflected in the quiet contradictions this land gently cradles. What exactly is Chengdu? From pandas to the city of the future, if Sichuan were its own separate world, this place would be its vibrant heart. Not as bustling as Shanghai, not as solemn as Beijing, nor as fast-paced as Shenzhen. Yet Chengdu possesses an irresistible, almost magnetic charm. In Chengdu, time seems to flow slower, and life moves at a more leisurely pace. From the morning cup of tea to the shimmering lights of the night, everything seems to wait for you to unwind and savor it. Right in the heart of the city, iconic landmarks make every passerby pause and admire. The IFS shopping mall stands out with its giant panda statue playfully clinging to the building, serving as a mischievous focal point amidst the concrete jungle. The artwork is both whimsical and profoundly symbolic. The choice of a panda as the landmark's icon here is by no means accidental. For the people of Sichuan, the panda is not merely an adorable mascot, but also a part of their identity, a national treasure, a living guardian deity preserving the fragile balance between humanity and nature. Just a short walk from IFS, you'll step into Taiko Li, a unique outdoor shopping area where ancient tiled roof houses are beautifully restored alongside high-end fashion boutiques. Here, traditional and modern architecture do not oppose but blend seamlessly together. Youngsters in trendy foreign t-shirts walk through the ancient wooden temple gate, holding bubble teacups yet leisurely savoring the timeless space of traditional tea culture. It is this unique combination that makes Taiko Li's architecture one of the rare spaces where you can both enjoy contemporary art exhibitions and relax under the eaves, watching the rain fall while breathing in the faint, lingering fragrance of tea. To Junsarat Street, the most vibrant pedestrian thoroughfare in the capital, where every perspective converges on a city stretching toward progress. During the day, you'll see bustling fashion stores and crowded eateries. But when night falls and the lights come alive, this place transforms into a vibrant stream of light and sound. Lines of people queue up to enjoy cold noodles, while nearby, elderly folks leisurely sip tea right next to a tech gadget stall. All coexist in a harmonious scene. Like a capital city, there's no need to choose between tradition and modernity, simply embrace both. Chengdu's cuisine is a diverse world beyond words. From steamy hot pot joints with tongue-numbing spice to enticing steamed bun stalls lining the sidewalks, from the comforting mala chicken to the alluring crimson oil-dipped skewers, every dish fully ignites all the senses. But the most remarkable thing is the unhurried pace of life. The people of Chengdu dine leisurely, sip tea at a relaxed pace, and converse without haste. The tea culture here is not merely a pastime, it has evolved into a deeply philosophical way of living. Amid the bustling modern city, brimming with technology and a fast-paced life, people still cherish the leisurely habit of sitting by a steaming pot of tea, sharing unhurried stories. Chengdu is like a paradox of astonishing beauty. Despite being a modern city with dazzling skyscrapers aglow with lights, it cannot hide its ancient charm, from the unhurried rhythm of life in its narrow alleys to the faint scent of wood smoke drifting from old street-side eateries. A place where the future gradually takes shape each day, yet the past quietly lingers beneath layers of brick. And amid this transformation, the pandas remain, unhurried and ever-present. A creature that feeds solely on bamboo and dwells in tranquil places, yet it has become a symbol of the enduring vitality of an entire nation. Glamorous, but because it. Mount Ma and the Wall of Faith. Mount Ma is located in the western part of Sichuan province, not only as a renowned scenic wonder but also regarded as a sacred land. From a distance, the mountain resembles a soft, white silk ribbon winding through the clouds, where nature blends so seamlessly it feels as though heaven and earth are still whispering to each other. In the animist beliefs of China, Mount Ma is the sacred abode of Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, one of the four most revered holy mountains. This is a spiritual sanctuary that not just anyone can reach without destined affinity. Today, atop the mountain, people have erected a giant bronze Buddha statue standing 48 meters tall, weighing 62 tons, and shimmering with gold plating. But what makes this land truly unique lies deep below, where the river winds around the foot of the mountain. There, the Lashan giant Buddha statue is carved directly into the cliff face, standing imposingly halfway up the mountainside. The statue stands 71 meters tall and was completed after 90 years of construction. The majestic seated Buddha faces the confluence of three rivers, the Min, Qingyi, and Dadu. Ever since the statue was completed, the waters there have become eerily calm. Some believe the carving altered the currents, but locals remain convinced that it was the compassionate gaze of the Buddha that stilled the surface. The issue here is why people chose such a treacherous place to erect the statue. Why not a peaceful hillside somewhere? Many scholars interpret this as an act of seeking protection, but there is also a hypothesis that the statue was placed there as a spiritual barrier, not only to shield the people but also to suppress something that cannot yet be named. Standing before the great Buddha statue, the emotions that arise are not just reverence, but also a vague connection between humanity and something far greater, perhaps faith, or perhaps even awe. But surely, it is precisely this that has made the people of Sichuan firmly believe that no matter how many raging rivers or devastating earthquakes may come, as long as they hold fast to their faith, this land will remain resilient and unyielding forever. The rural market of Sichuan appears rustic, brimming with bold spiciness and steeped in the scent of smoke. To fully experience a land, step into its marketplace. But if you want to touch the very soul of Sichuan, nothing is more authentic than a morning in the heart of a countryside market. Where the pungent smoke wafts through every stall, where the calls of vendors blend with the sizzle of oil in hot pans, and where people live by the labor of their own hands, not by sweet talk. In a small corner of the market, squares of tofu covered in a fine, snow-white fuzz were neatly arranged on a bamboo tray. That white fuzz was actually a natural mold formed during the fermentation process. Ready to eat. This dish has a unique spicy sweet flavor that thick smoke billowed from the pot of fragrant braised duck. The vendor, gripping a knife in hand, swiftly called out to customers while nodding along to stories of early risers who lined up from 5 in the morning, waiting to buy their lunch. Here, meat must have bones to be tasty. The vendor uses a blowtorch to flame sear the skin, causing the fat to sizzle and render out, creating an irresistibly crispy outer layer that a regular gas stove could never achieve. That smoke carries the scent of home. The market is not just a place to buy food, but also a space where people get their shoes repaired, press sesame oil, or wrap malt candy. Rough hands worked tirelessly, slowly yet rhythmically, as if every stitch, every drop of sweat carried the quiet promise of nurturing the entire family. The air was filled with strange, indescribable scents. The pungent aroma of black pepper, the sizzling heat of chili, the rich scent of ginger mingling with the steamy, smoky fragrance of hot cornbread rising from the earthen pot. The passers-by, some buying candy, others haggling over the price of chestnuts, a few even bargaining for a pair of shoes worth just a few dozen yuan, all left behind a little piece of themselves amid the clamor and the eye-stinging dust. In Sichuan, trees are not just present in the cuisine, they permeate the rhythm of life, the diligent gaze of the people, and even the way they resiliently endure the bitter winters. That tree is like a warm flame soothing the soul, a cool breeze refreshing the spirit, and a bold affirmation that life persists, rising resiliently even in the harshest places. Amidst that rural market, without dazzling neon lights or towering skyscrapers, one glimpses an authentic yet vibrant Sichuan. The pungent smoke doesn't push people away, instead, it lingers in their hearts, hard to fade. Beneath the earth, rivers can also churn with violent fury. Sichuan is the land of water. A kind of water that not only nurtures but also threatens, not as gentle as the rivers of the plains. The water here surges violently, steep and fierce like a wild beast, always lurking and ready to rise when provoked. With over 1,400 rivers large and small, this province resembles an intricate water network, both a source of life and a hidden danger requiring vigilance. The most striking among them is the Kim Exa river stretch, where the roaring waves of the Yangtze River rage fiercely at its headwaters. Amidst the jagged cliffs and sheer precipices, the raging torrent defies every human struggle for survival. The land may be fertile, but just one untimely rainy season is enough to flood the village, sweep away bridges and culverts, and erase generations of memories. For the people of Sichuan, water is not something to be restrained, but rather to be tamed, respected, and treated as a friend. Over 2,000 years ago, the people of Sichuan left behind one of the most brilliant testaments to ancient wisdom. That is the Jianyan embankment, which requires neither damming the water nor blocking the current, built simply with stones, bamboo, and keen observation. They split the river into two branches. One follows its natural course, while the other is diverted into the plains for irrigation. That structure is not meant to assert human dominance, but rather to embody harmony between humanity and nature. They do not force the water to flow as they wish, but gently persuade the stream to change its course, a lesson only the humble and patient, those who truly understand nature, can grasp. Many scholars today believe that Du Jianyan was an ancient form of lost wisdom, where humans could once perceive the rhythm of heaven and earth. Without using measuring devices but relying on subtle perception through observation, folk experience, and instinctive intuition. A structure that stands firm for over 2 millennia without cement, relying not on materials but on harmony with the laws of nature. Today, the flood diversion dike still operates, still splitting the water flow, helping people live safely through the flood season. On the old foundation, modern humans have built auxiliary dams and power stations, yet no one dares to touch the flawed gaps. To do better, but because our understanding ISN. The people of Sichuan live among rivers as if coexisting with sentient beings. When the waters are calm, they farm the land, when the waters rage, they retreat and pray. According to legend, every river carries within it a name, a history, and its own soul. Before the rainy season arrives, there are still those who quietly place offerings along the banks, whispering their deepest wishes, no need to speak them aloud. Over thousands of years, they survive not by strength, but by knowing how to live in harmony with one another. Because here, the rivers can turn fierce at any moment, only by listening can life keep flowing. Not to fight against water, but to live in harmony with it, as a friend, a teacher, and sometimes as the ancient deity still present on this land. The earthquake has passed, but the wounds it left behind have yet to heal. Sichuan is not only famous for its majestic rivers but is also known as a region frequently struck by earthquakes. Beneath the fertile soil, beyond the bamboo forests and rice fields, lie the immense, unhealed wounds of war, both in the earth and in human memory. On May 12, 2008, a deep underground explosion echoed, followed by violent tremors that caused everything to collapse. All the tenderness was like being thrown into the grasp of a thrashing monstrous beast. The 7.9 magnitude earthquake killed nearly 70,000 people and left millions more homeless, bereaved, and stripped of their sense of safety. In the blink of an eye, the school collapsed into a pile of rubble, the roads shattered, and the peaceful towns suddenly turned into ruins of devastation. But in the midst of utter chaos, the remarkable thing was that no one abandoned anyone. Rescue teams rushed in from all directions, and students carried their injured friends through the rubble. The mother shielded her child with her own body, the people generously opened their doors to welcome strangers seeking shelter, and even when forced to live temporarily in hastily built huts, they still shared every bowl of porridge and every sip of water together. From the ruins of disaster, something greater was born, an indomitable will to survive, brimming with humanity and stronger than steel. Sichuan is located on the edge of the Tibetan Plateau, one of the most geologically active regions in the world. The Earth's crust constantly collides, compresses, quietly accumulates energy, then suddenly releases it, like a deep sigh from Mother Earth. People say living here means living with danger, yet the people of Sichuan liken it to living with the very soul of heaven and earth. There remains one question that has never been fully answered. Why does this place always tremble? Is it solely due to geological factors, or is there another hidden cause behind this phenomenon? Something lies sleeping deep beneath the earth, unwilling to be awakened. An ancient soul, a sealed layer of memory, or perhaps the very weakness that modern humans always strive to conceal behind skyscrapers and geological maps. Whatever the case, every puddle on the ground is a wake-up call, and with each reconstruction, the people here don't just rebuild their roofs, they also restore their faith. Because on land that may collapse at any moment, the only thing keeping people standing is human compassion. From remote borderlands to modern bridges of connection. If you look at the map, Sichuan appears like a basin enclosed on all sides, but as you approach its outer edges, you'll realize this place is not just the heart of the province, it's also a gateway to other worlds. Northern and western Sichuan border ethnic autonomous regions, home to the Tibetan, Yi, and Chang peoples. These lands seem to still move to the rhythm of the past, where people converse in a distinct language, savor dishes passed down through generations, and hold steadfast to values the modern world has forgotten. In the autonomous region, the Gaze Tibetans live more peacefully, the sky is clearer, and life feels enveloped by an invisible divine presence. The Tibetans here worship mountain deities, river spirits, and believe that souls can dwell in the stones by the roadside. In Luang Sun, home to the Di people, glossy black stilt houses cling to the mountainsides. Traditional festivals still pulse with the lively beat of gongs and drums, the warm, rich aroma of corn wine, and the flickering glow of wood fire smoke. Every nation is a distinct world, carrying within itself a unique language, script, cuisine, beliefs, and perception of time, unmistakable and never blended. Once upon a time, these lands were almost entirely isolated, rough and treacherous roads, harsh climates, and snow-capped mountain ranges cut off all trade and interaction. But the situation is gradually changing. The new railway line connecting Chengdu to Ningxi in Tibet has officially commenced operation. This route traverses snow-capped mountains and deep valleys, significantly reducing travel time from nearly 2 days to less than half a day. The high-speed trains, embodying the spirit of modern China, race across lands once considered remote frontiers. However, every step of infrastructure development inevitably raises the question, what are we sacrificing in return? Language. Today, culture cannot vanish in a single day, but it can quickly fade when overshadowed by what is called material gain. Now, Sichuan is no longer encircled by mountains like a basin, but has become a crossroads where diverse cultures, beliefs, languages, and lifestyles intersect, bustling with life every single day. At life's crossroads, some choose to preserve, others to adapt, and some quietly observe, yet all are in constant transformation. On this journey, Sichuan is like a vast mirror reflecting China, where modern and ancient values, bustling urban centers and remote lands, preservation and development are still seeking harmony, learning to listen and coexist, before all is swept away in the relentless rush of high-speed trains that blur past without pause. Sichuan cuisine, where even the greens have a bold personality. If the Sichuan peppercorn in the rural markets is a numbing chill amid the scent of smoke, the sizzle of oil pans, and the bustling rhythm of labor, then across this land, its flavor carries an even deeper meaning, a unique language, an instinct for survival, an irreplaceable cultural imprint. Forget the image of a fiery red broth steaming and bubbling. But Sichuan cuisine isn't. Notably, the plant here is a blend of red chili and Sichuan peppercorns, a spice that not only burns the tongue but also creates a tingling, numbing sensation. It's an experience both fiery and strangely exhilarating, leaving an unforgettable impression on anyone who tries it. People from Sichuan love spicy food for many reasons: to keep warm in the cold, damp weather, to stimulate their taste buds, or simply because it's a habit passed down through generations. But on a deeper level, the spiciness here is like a silent challenge. To eat bitterness is to have strength, to dare to face hardship, and to dare to live true to oneself. The cuisine here mirrors the character of the local people, warm, forthright, yet imbued with emotional depth. A dish can simultaneously be rich in salty depth, gently sweet, refreshingly sour, and warmly spicy. Each flavor is like a layer of emotion, a fragment of memory tenderly steeped in the warmth of the kitchen fire. From simple rural markets to bustling city streets, from warm family meals to famous eateries, greenery is always present as an inseparable part of life. It permeates every dish, intertwines with every story told, and blends into the rhythms of daily living. People from Sichuan may not be talkative, but if they invite you to eat chili, it means they truly consider you a close friend. Like this land, that tree doesn't strive to please anyone, it doesn't humble itself, nor does it compromise. It exists plainly, without pretense, unapologetic for its strength. But this very quality makes it etch itself into memory, like a symbol of this land, both scorching and silently cradling steadfast faith. Need to strain to impress anyone, Here, every valley is like a slumber of memories, every dish a gustatory adventure, and every person a fragment of life enduring, embracing, or quietly placing faith in something greater than themselves. Perhaps Sichuan is not meant to be understood, but to be felt, to touch something quiet yet enduring, profound without ostentation, like the lingering wisp of smoke on clothes after an early morning market. Like the gaze of the Buddha, drifting with the river for millennia, never once closing.